Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and welcome to this video lesson I've created for you on developing great finger picking technique for your guitar playing. Unfortunately, a lot of players tend to go with what feels easy versus what is the right technique when first exploring finger picking on the guitar. Going with what feels easy tends to lead you down the path of incorrect, inefficient, and problematic finger picking technique. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to finger pick your guitar the right way. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to focus on, how to train it into your playing, and what not to do. Okay, so what do I mean by finger picking your guitar the easy way versus the right way? I mean, easy sounds good, at least on the surface, right? But imagine someone picking up the guitar for the very first time and just using one finger of their fretting hand to play notes. Now sure, that's going to feel easier in the moment, but we all know how limiting that will be for one's playing if you were to do that. So we're going to make sure we don't do the same thing with our finger picking technique. That is, just go the easy way and do whatever feels natural to us in the moment. If you do, you're most likely going to have these three main problem areas. Number one, you're going to probably use poor finger choice in terms of which fingers pluck what strings. Two, you're most likely going to have an incorrect picking hand position and incorrect angle of fingers to the strings when they're plucking them. And three, inefficient picking hand and arm movements. So we're going to break down each area today in this video to discover the right way to go about your finger picking. Once you've done that, you can click the link below this video and download my 3 easy to play but advanced sounding finger picking patterns for your guitar ebook and further develop and reinforce your finger picking technique. So poor finger choice could be defined as using whatever finger feels comfortable to you at the time when finger picking. Now the problem here is that the finger you just go with won't necessarily be the best choice. While there are varying approaches we can have for finger picking, it is important that we have something to work from, a foundation if you like. So when finger picking your guitar, it's best, generally speaking, to have the thumb play the lower 3 strings of the guitar, the E, the A and the D. The top 3 strings are going to be plucked with your index, middle and ring fingers. Your index is going to be allocated to the 3rd string, your middle finger is going to be for the 2nd string, and your ring finger is going to play the top string. So yes, there are other ways we could do this, absolutely. There's variations, it comes down to the context of what you're doing. But we do need some training here and a foundation to launch from with our finger picking technique, and this is where you need to start. So to reinforce this, you could simply just play open strings and pluck the open bottom string with your thumb, then use your index finger and play the 3rd string, middle finger can play the 2nd string, ring finger can play the top string, and then you could come back with the middle on the 2nd, index on the 3rd string. Then you could simply go to the 5th string this time with your thumb and pluck that. Then the same 3 strings up top, index, middle, ring, back on the middle and the index, and then your thumb can pick the 4th open string. And then again, index on 3rd, middle 2nd, ring finger on the top string and back down. Okay, so let me just repeat through each of those rotations there. So the 6th string, then the top 3, then the 5th string, followed by the top 3 and the 4th. Okay, if you're somewhere where you've got to be quiet, you could just mute out the strings with your fretting hand and pick them the same as we just did. Okay, this is going to set up a really good foundation to then develop your finger picking technique. So that is the finger choice that we need to start with. Okay, so another symptom of going with what feels easy versus the right way to finger pick your guitar is the picking hand position itself and the angle of the fingers to the strings. Now, the problem often is that people don't adjust the hand or the position of the hand from where it is when you're using a plectrum, right? When you're flat picking. If you don't, then what you'll find, you'll go finger pick pluck the strings with your fingers, and they're going to be at awkward angles to the strings. They're going to be around about a 45 or so degree angle to the string. And what you'll find is you don't get much purchase on the string or much leverage there to pluck it. It's a weak position to pluck the strings from that angle. Okay, you can sound them, of course, but you're not getting much control or power. So what we need to do to fix that is to raise the wrist itself above the strings, higher above than what you would do when you're using a plectrum. And what happens is your fingers essentially stand up and end up at about 90 degree angle to the strings, pretty much a 90 degree angle to the strings, each of the three fingers are. Okay, now from that position, you've got much more power and control over your finger picking. You'll be able to get much more purchase, if you like, or leverage on the string to pluck it, versus trying to do it from this angle here. Okay, now when you're looking from your viewpoint, the guitar player, down on your hand, you'll see each of the three fingers at a 90 degree or so angle to the strings, and your thumb is more at a 45 degree angle to the string, thereabouts. And it should be straight for the most part here. We don't want to be plucking strings with the thumb with a bent knuckle there. We want that nice and straight. Okay, so this is the position you want your hand to be in when finger picking the guitar. So the result of too much tension in any area of your guitar playing often results in inefficient motions and movements in your picking and fretting hands. So when we have excess tension, too much tension with our finger picking, our fingers tend to, yank away from the strings as we pluck them, like so. Okay, I often see this with a lot of people when observing them finger picking for the first time. So we don't want that. Okay, what we do want is nice, efficient motions with the fingers. And what you'll find when we do finger pick is that the hand, the wrist, the arm here are all very still and stable, and the movement is isolated to the fingers and the thumb themselves. Okay, so if we took that exercise from earlier on the open strings, this is how we don't want to do it. Right? We don't want to be plucking the strings and yanking the hand away, as we do so. Okay, it's very inefficient. You're going to be very inaccurate doing it. It's just not good. Okay, how we do want to do it is to keep the hand and the wrist and arm nice and still and stable, and to have just the movement isolated to the fingers and the thumb like this. Okay, so you're keeping everything nice and relaxed. If you're nice and relaxed, you often have nice, efficient motions with your picking hand. Okay, so that's the focus there when finger picking. Isolate the movement to the fingers, keep the hand nice and relaxed. Click the link below this video and download my 3 easy to play advanced sounding finger picking patterns for your guitar, and further reinforce and develop your finger picking technique with the examples given in that ebook. Okay, so we've looked at finger choice, we've looked at the picking hand position, and we've also talked about the efficiency of your finger picking and the isolation of the movement to the fingers, keeping everything else nice and still. So this is all good to know, but in order for it to become part of your playing and to have great finger picking technique, you've got to train this stuff, and you've got to train it regularly. So here's how to do that. I'm just going to take a little chord here, similar to what I was doing in the introduction piece to this video. I'm going to play a little finger picking pattern. What's important here is, or what I should say is, what's not important is what you're actually finger picking. You could do just the open strings we had earlier, particularly if this is very new to you, but you might choose something else. It doesn't matter. What's important is how you're training it. So I'm going to pick this little pattern. Okay, as I do so, my focus is going to rotate in my mind. Okay, I'm going to first focus on my finger choice. As I play it, I'm going to make sure I'm using the correct fingers as we explain. Is my thumb playing the lower 3 strings? Any notes on those strings? And are my higher 3 strings being played with the index, middle and ring fingers, as we were talking about earlier? That's my focus. If not, I'm going to correct that. Then I would shift my focus to picking hand position as I play the same thing. So is my picking hand in the correct position? Are my fingers at 90 degree angles to the strings? Is my thumb nice and straight in terms of the knuckle there? And is it around about a 45 degree angle to the strings? If all yes, great. If not, I'm going to correct it. Then I'm going to continue picking the same thing, only now my focus is on an efficient finger picking motion and keeping everything still except for the fingers themselves. Okay, so that's what I'm focusing on now as I play. And that's the key. You're playing the same thing, but your focus in your mind is shifting every however repetitions you do, whatever you want, but maybe a minute or two on each area for about 6 minutes, and you've just had a great little training session on the 3 areas of finger picking that's going to develop great finger picking technique for your playing. So that's how you got to train it. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Finger picking really is a great technique for your guitar playing, especially your acoustic guitar playing. So I do hope you take the time to develop a solid foundation in it, because it's really, really worth it. Click the link below this video if you'd like to download my free ebook on advanced finger picking patterns for your guitar playing that are actually quite easy to play but sound really cool. If you like this video and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, then certainly do so to receive regular notifications of all upcoming videos. And if you'd like to check out many other free resources on all things acoustic guitar, then don't forget to visit my website www.acousticguitarlessonsonline.net. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.